consensus on priorities. Time has come for us to move from ideas to bankable projects.
There's a lot of focus on shifting from the talking to the doing, and I think the doing has started. The next thing I'd like to say is just the amount of commitment I think there is actually from not only the UK, but from around the world to look at helping being part of that transformation. The latest expression of that from the UK was at the D8 summit from my Prime Minister, where he made it very clear we're solidly behind the AU target of doubling intra-African trade by 2022. The scale of the challenge we know is huge. Some say it's up to 100 billion for Africa. Part of the problem, as we all know, is the issue around risk and investing, and I think that the grant financing we offer really helps reduce some of that risk, so it makes it more appealing for other investors to come in. So I think we can help play that catalytic role, and we can help provide some of the assistance to bring in other partners in what I think is a strong partnership going forward.
Because one of the challenges for Africa has really been the fragmentation of the continent and the fragmentation in Southern Africa. And the fact that we are here together thinking about how to integrate the Southern African community is extremely important. And in that context, integration means so many things to different people. So it's not only the integration of territories across borders, but it's also the integration of cities across. For instance, if we're talking about the North-South corridor, how do we actually integrate all the cities around the North-South corridor to that, so that the benefits from trade, for instance, can be maximized. It also means taking a multi-sectoral approach, looking not only at the physical infrastructure, the road construction, but also looking at how faster traffic can also translate into safer traffic lights, how we can actually address the issues of HIV and AIDS that become very often associated with along the transport corridors. So I think one of the values that the World Bank can actually provide is to provide such integrated solutions, so that when we are thinking of integrated infrastructure projects, we also really think truly in an integrated manner that can benefit all the countries and maximize the benefits from those investments. But one of the challenges that we find in Africa is that while a lot of effort goes into the design of the operations and the preparation of it, but when it comes to implementation, I think it is a challenge to keep projects to cost, on time, and to high levels of quality. But there's a lot that can be learned from other parts of the world, where implementation of projects has actually been turned into a science, where things actually have been thought through very carefully, so that implementation is really much more efficient and much more effective. And the final area is really on institutional strengthening, because one can invest a lot in infrastructure, but at the same time you have to make sure that institutional strengthening also goes. And this is across the board. The institutional capacity in countries to manage large projects, particularly with public-private partnerships, the capacity to actually have sustainable institutions that can actually maintain projects, operations and maintenance that have adequate financing for those things. So I think the institutional capacity has to be a handmaker of any investment program that actually takes place. And I think that is another area where the World Bank can surely provide technical assistance. But at the end of the day, it is an African-led initiative, and Africa has to be the lead. The countries in the SADC have to be the lead in that, and we'll be happy to be partners, as we already are in the design and implementation of these programs.
And our contribution is to share with you the experience of what we are facing right now, as implementing a very important infrastructure project in Mozambique and Malawi. We, Vale and CFM, in a very important example how public and private partnership can work. We are investing in the Nacala corridor, which is multimodal infrastructure of rail and port. Investment raised by about $4.5 billion. It's about 900 kilometers from the Moatize mining region going through Malawi up to the Nacala port, where you're going to have a deep water port. By enabling the mining sector to develop, to export raw materials, in our case, coal, we are going also giving opportunity for the whole economy of the region, Mozambique, Malawi, but spilling over for the other countries of SADC countries because of the possibility of integration of the infrastructures. But when you talk about corridors, infrastructure that go beyond many cities, involve many people. In Mozambique, there are 4 regions and also 2 or 3 regions in Malawi. It's very important the integration and the support of the local authorities through the ministries and the government agencies. We must say that the support of both governments, Malawi and Mozambican government, it's really outstanding and very, very important for the project. Of course, we've had to discuss many aspects in the framework, and one of the important aspects for us is the legal framework and also the technical and financing conditions that must be established and must be clearly defined among the countries and the investors. Recently, Mozambique has issued the law, the book and partnership project law, and our concessions are already under this new framework, as well as in Malawi. We are forecasting to start our operation and exporting through Nacala corridor in 2015.
I'm going to refer to a project that we have successfully implemented now in Zimbabwe and share some of the lessons and experiences from that project. Group 5, in joint venture with SONARA, the Zimbabwe Roads Agency, has formed what is essentially a non-profit entity called Infralink. And this is designed to rehabilitate, upgrade and maintain the full length of the east-west road corridor in Zimbabwe from Mutare to Plumtree, and this is a distance of approximately 800 kilometers. The existing toll stations on that road are also going to be upgraded into formal toll plazas, and the first of this is actually already up and running, and the rehabilitation of the road has commenced. Some of the early successes of the project are that the toll collection has increased by 100% since the formal toll plaza was implemented. So it is helping to collect the money along the route. Now, what makes the structure work? Firstly, the funding. The funding was obtained from the Development Bank of South Africa. This was a loan of over $200 million to the government of Zimbabwe. But this will be serviced by the Infralink joint venture. The toll revenue contributes to the loan repayment, but it cannot fund it fully. And this is really because the traffic count is not sufficient to actually justify a pure toll concession. And also, the toll fees are designed so as not to be a burden on the public. Just for example, a passenger car pays $1 at a toll plaza currently, and that will get access to approximately 100 kilometers of roads. But importantly, it's the Zimbabwe Road Fund through the road levy that covers the difference. And this is the extremely important, I think, an enabling role that is played by the state.
In the next 5 years, which we call the short-term period for that infrastructure master plan, SADC requires a minimum of $65 billion to materialize those important priority projects that have been identified. It is also clear that if we are to move ahead, this cannot be the onus of the public sector alone. Each time we talk transnational projects, we are always bound with one challenge: the lack of a transnational financial institution to respond beyond the boundaries of our respective constituencies. most of our countries are at different levels of development. The resource availability is at different levels. How do we overcome the missing gaps to take the regional integration program ahead if there is this challenge? If we have to move as a region, if we have to move as a continent, infrastructure is critical.